Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Banana Republic of South Africa. This is the only country on earth where you can be a minister accused of being a literal crime boss linked to crime syndicates, and nothing happens. You just continue to be the police minister of the country. However, if you are a deputy minister, you'll be fired immediately if you happen to get your ass on a plane without permission from the president. So, I don't know exactly how that works or what the logic is behind that, but it makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. Just want to say a huge thank you to all of the supporters and patrons of this channel. By becoming a member or a patron, you help support the news that we bring and also allow me to do even more in the future. So huge shout out to all of you. Thank you. Anyways, enjoy the video. Bye. You'll be happy to know that following the claims by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi over the weekend, the ANC has now finally taken note of the situation, and they're deciding enough is enough. We're about to make some big changes here. So, okay, first and foremost, the police minister finally hits back and claims that he's never met this man. He doesn't know who he is. So he says in an official document, he wanted to clarify that he had never met Mr. Mklala, had never spoken to him, nor has the minister ever requested or received anything from him, which, of course, all criminals will say that they are not guilty. The minister did, however, initiate a review of the SAPS tender awarded to him when suspicions of possible wrongdoing surfaced. It was the same tender which has since been terminated, the statement read. Of course, we have text message evidence from General Mkhwanazi, or at least claimed text message evidence, that shows that this tender, after it was cancelled, Mr. Mklala actually messaged the minister and was like, the hell are you doing? I'm going to save all of this, all of our correspondence, because I thought that you were going to be a little snake, you bastard, right? And then the honorable Mr. Makuna goes on and says, furthermore, whilst the minister knows and has met Mr. Brown Magotsi, which is another crime syndicate boss, implicating, he is just a comrade. Why would anyone be comrades with a criminal? Anyways, and not an associate of the minister. Comrade, associate, isn't that the same thing? Isn't comrade just communist speak for associate? The minister has never requested or received anything from him. Now, here's where things get interesting. You see, the minister told Parliament not that long ago that he didn't know Mr. Magotsi whatsoever. So our minister is honorable indeed, and he never lies. Then, of course, it just turns out that Vusi Kat Mklala, the man that is literally on trial, or awaiting trial rather, the man that allegedly runs one of the biggest crime syndicates in South Africa, linked to political killings across the KZN as well as in Gauteng. This man, right, had a cell phone in his prison. That seems really awkward. A man that clearly has connections, capable of killing people on the outside, happens to have a cell phone in his prison? Like, how the hell did he get a cell phone in his prison? Now, they did discover the cell phone during a raid, and they've since removed him from the general population, and they've moved him to CMAX, where hopefully he won't get a cell phone. Maybe they'll give him a computer with some internet. Who knows, in this great country of ours, what will happen? But there's a couple of things that's so wrong with this. The police minister is still the minister of police. Like, how is that possible? Even if, right, it's just an allegation. In almost every non-banana republic in the world, you would immediately have the minister step down. He'd be immediately sequestered. And why? Because a minister has a lot of power. A minister can make evidence disappear. A minister can make people disappear. That's the kind of power that a minister has. Because remember, he's in charge of the whole of the police force. So you want to get him out of the way so that you can do your investigations. And if your investigations turn up that nothing's wrong, great. Oopsie, and you move on. But these people cannot stay in power. Mr. Whitfield literally just flew to America without permission, and he was fired on the spot. Mr. Makuna may actually be in bed with crime syndicates that kill political leaders and political opposition. I don't know. Like, one of these two feels a little worse than the others. don't you think? But, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to worry, because our esteemed president and the ANC, they got this. They got this. All right, so Makunu and Cele will face the ANC Integrity Commission. Because, yes, it turns out that Bheki Cele, the previous Minister of Police, was actually, he stayed over at Maklala's house. He went to his luxury penthouse, spent more than a week there. So clearly they were super good friends. I wonder, how is that possible? Ministers are supposed to be beyond reproach. Our ministers get shit tons of money to stay in the best hotels in the world. They constantly spend millions of dollars when they're traveling, but somehow he's staying at the penthouse of a criminal. Like, I don't understand how this happens, especially considering that even if you remove the criminal status from Mr. Maklala or Vusi Cat Maklala, you're still stuck with this man doing business with the state, right? He was a massive tenderpreneur. You would think, and specifically a lot of his tenders were with the police, you would think that a minister of the police would not want to associate with people who do business for the police, just in case it might look suspicious, right? But never mind that. They're going to face the full force of the ANC Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission of the ANC, by the way, finds every single person not guilty. They just recently declared a bunch of actual, like, disgusting, corrupted ministers like Gigaba. They declared him, no, he didn't do anything wrong, no problem. And then every single time they do that, when they find that a minister isn't guilty, any accusations of criminality against that minister, they immediately go, they were found innocent. So you have baseless claims. But it's not a legal court. It's an internal structure, right? And this is where things really get problematic. When you listen to how the ANC deals with their problems, this is from Mr. Mbalula, who said the following: in the ANC, we've got our own processes. Regarding the matters that are reported in the public domain, we can deal with them in terms of the ANC, and those members should appear before the Integrity Commission to explain themselves. In as far as how those matters affect the integrity of the party, the Integrity Commission will be seized with those matters. The massive problem here, of course, is these ministers are accused of crime. An Integrity Commission does not help with that. We have an actual justice system within the country. These ministers should be fired on the spot and handed over to the police for full investigation and then tried in a criminal court with a judge that can preside over the whole thing, an impartial one, hopefully. An Integrity Commission, remember, this commission is populated by friends of the people that they're investigating, and the ANC is far more interested in protecting their actual image than what they are with justice prevailing within this bloody country of ours. That is important because the rule of law is the cornerstone of our democratic state and the national democratic revolution for it to succeed. It is also about the rule of law, and that is what is important, and we cannot prevaricate on that. But the rule of law isn't applying here. Like, you guys are just sweeping it under the rug with an Integrity Commission. It's frustrating when you have a police commissioner literally putting his life on the line because he's sick and tired of the compromised police force, and then you have the minister and the president and the ruling party trying everything in their power to just sweep it under the rug. Let's just Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this entire situation. As always, hit the like if you like, dislike if you didn't, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.